Well, hello people, it's Benit at S1Ep, back my Jumpstart series, and yes, it's delayed. Wait, is it delayed? Oh yeah, well, kind of delayed. Okay, so first of all, yeah, I kind of want to discuss this Jumpstart series in the summer, at the end of summer, gonna continue to the autumn, at September. But lots of problems, lots of delays, and I make the same filter in my previous video, which will get, in my previous video I recorded, it will be bit known as, it will be uploaded on the same day as this one, so my gaming channel. Go check it out and I'll talk about this one. So yeah, okay, I can also say for this channel, the reason it was delayed, because I kind of want to finish my circle of games, which I have, before starting new game rush or jump starting series. And plus also I want them to be on the same place. Kinda, when I have my jump starting series, I also want to have my new game rush. When I have my new game rush, I also want to have my jump starting series. So I hope it was explained. So man, what we're gonna watch? We're gonna watch... Okay, so filming. I want my video to have filming. And filming for my Jumpstart series will be 2 live actions, 2 pilots, and 2 something popular. And kind of what else can I say? And nothing more. So we're gonna watch. And the first pilot will be Catch Up. So this is animated show which I saw randomly, and it will process, just remember the show exists to my huge possibility for reactions. But after... Okay, first of all, I kind of want to do a short reaction because, man, I need to render it and upload it, and kind of want to upload today, but delays. Now I want to something up which will be quicker. I do kind of think it will be quicker because I kind of have the pilot which is 20 minutes, plus me talking, and I have some bonus materials like Kickstarter announcement and behind the scenes which will be 39 minutes, so it's a long video, sadly. But also I will check maybe if we have separate channels for his animation because kinda LS Mark have channel which is done for interview, no, not interview, essay video, and I think he'll maybe create a separate channel for his pilot. Maybe it'll be something like Monkey Ratchet does. So what else can I say? Okay, so when I first saw it, I didn't know who made it, but then I tried to check it and I saw it was LS Mark. Which, do I know this guy? Yeah, I know him. Do I watch him? Not really. Okay, I probably watch some of his video, but not all of his video. But honestly, I will not say I like watch the guy. I mean, I know kids exist. I probably watched some of his video, but never like get fully hooked on with him. So kinda he is one of the viewers who kinda just there for me. I kinda would say, okay, did I ignore possibility of watching Mark? Kinda did. And I kinda have this stance of YouTubers who I kinda think the possibility of them being in reaction in the future. But I just don't have a reaction in the future. That also will say, guys, it's kind of hard for me to react to them because, man, I don't see a lot of people reacting to say YouTubers. There are people who reacting to them, but not much, they kind of hesitating slightly. And there's like a tons of essay YouTubers who I want to watch, like Rasputin just being one of them. And I kind of just want to react to Rasputin, but not my reaction to Rasputin was because of his amazing girlfriend's play video game series. And I kind of also want to call about this one and kind of have that level a little bit of my own essay. But also don't have a such channel, I just want to have reaction channel. But yeah, LS Mark making his own animated series. But for now, it's pilot and Kickstarter, so will it succeed? Maybe. It's kind of also interesting case because, man, recently I saw a shit ton of pilots. There was a shit ton of pilots for the show, and I kind of always like take a screenshot because sometimes I don't even have players behind. Because sometimes I have channel which is just my own entertainment channel, and I don't have the playlist of my reaction series. I use this playlist on this channel to just go on a channel and watch them. I usually just take a screenshot of videos, and man, a lot of series popping up. And I guess we're kind of about to see freaking Survival of the Fittest, because man, there's so many series. I guess we're about to see what some people are dealing with series are not being interested or not being catch up. Because kind of, I think this series, okay, that's people watch. I remember some series are being watched, and I saw people reacting to them. I also remember some series who I only saw as original video, but nobody saw people reacting to them. Kind of maybe wondering about the survival of the fittest situation where there'll be some pilots which are more popular and more loved, versus some videos which is not as much popular, not as much loved. Is LS Mark videos watched? I'm not sure, I didn't check any people who watch him. React to him. Maybe they are, I don't know. I don't know, other personally I don't know. I will say maybe not. So without any more videos, okay, what we're gonna watch? As I said, Catch Up. Okay, so by the thumbnail, kinda remind me of Tom and Jerry, because we're gonna have a cat slash maybe wolf and a mouse. And plus it's all kinda say catch up, because either was inspired by Tom and Jerry, either I don't know. Yeah, not much can say. Maybe it will be dark series, who knows, maybe kinda the cat slash wolf kinda looks surprised. Maybe it will be something friends who find mystery or get surprised. I don't know, we'll see. Speculating for the thumbnail, I cannot much. So without more intro, we're gonna watch it already now. However, after I check the quality, I will check other stuff. Okay, let's go right bloody now. That's late. Friday. It's time. So catching up to what? Wow, I thought it was gonna be 3D. It's 2D. On thumbnail it looks so much different. I think it kinda does match the Astal, this guy. Do I know his Astal much? Well, does match him. Wait, what the hell you said? I didn't listen to you. Come sad depressed guy, and you try to be my best friend. Or catching up with your friends. But is it September? Is it like December?
Nice freaking job walking there.
Are we the same species or different species?
Hey, Clay.
That can you give me a hand, or you're too short for me giving a hand? For now, I'll have eye contact with you. Yeah, he's trying to be your friend.
Don't forget about tonight.
Do you forget tonight? Or do you want to hang out with him at all? I feel like a mouse and this guy is in different art styles.
How was school today?
Like always, depressive. Wow, instant watching TV, you're getting old, mate. And you, I don't know how old you are. Yeah, I'm tired. Maybe not tonight.
You're
On
not
a
ready
sub.
to go? Go where?
Oh, let's put some clothes.
To the club? I've been talking about it.
To the
all
club,
week.
really?
You gotta come with me.
How old are you?
That's the funny thing.
I never went to the club as a kid. Or even teenagers. Or pre-adults. Or pre-teens.
No, it's not even a club. It's for the under 18s at the community center.
But I've been practicing my conversation starters.
Look, Rob.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Clay, you're going.
By the way,
Should I?
To go just because he wants to. He's an idiot. Anything will please him. I don't care.
I'm happy, not an idiot.
Out of this house. Go make some friends.
Check my studies. Actually, if you check my studies, I can easily give you right proof that I'm Indian.
I really going. Yes. 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 Not. No. Clay.
Fine.
I am always.
It's not even the sunglasses.
It get dark.
Yes.
You're gonna take them off no matter what. Well, first of all, we have intros. Are we gonna have intro every time? That's interesting, I actually love that. Not many cartoons of animation have these intros. Interesting art style. Interesting art style combination. You're welcome always.
Alright, have a nice time, Robbie. Try not to get too
Toma! Yes, love you, Joshua. Toma.
Don't worry, sir. I'll keep an eye on him.
Wait, that's Michael! Is it Michael? Come on, an I depressed guy.
He likes you.
I can tell. I can explain. Wow, freaking by bully, so... Is it even a class? What kind of party is that? It's kind of shocking
I see
me.
these people at school 5 days out of my week. Isn't that enough?
You know, I don't think I've ever even seen you outside of school or your own house.
I don't like outside.
Intentional, yes.
But that's no way to live. You
I
can
live
go
with
out
it.
there and do something eventually.
I'm here, aren't I?
Perfect. And so instead of simply driving to the club, we pay some guy in our class $20 to take us there on an old rundown bus.
Do you know where the club is?
That's it.
It's homemade club.
No, you're not.
Can you get there?
The experience,
Of course you can.
man.
I'm pretty sure you know the streets.
Just go with it.
20, 20, 20.
50? Plus?
Hello there.
Don't talk to him.
May I procure for a ride, my good
Shut the
man?
hell up, guy. He gonna make it 20.
What? But those guys only had to pay 20.
Or you talk to me.
No.
Take 50 and get out of here.
$20.
Wait, who's driving you?
I was gonna buy a Coke with that.
I'll lend you the money.
But how am I gonna get drinks for the ladies?
You don't get a ladies, trust me.
We're gonna look so cool together, Clay!
Oh, you make me cool.
Even my pin last week and never got
Something will
back.
happen.
And now this?
Possibility.
Give it to him.
Oh yeah, what was that?
You're a pushover, dude. You're always offering
How much you
good stuff
gave?
for people, thinking it makes you friends.
Well, where's the harm in that? It's called being a good person. Hey there.
Well, I'm...
We want to go up to the back of the bus, but we have nowhere to put our jackets. Would you be able to hold
Are
them?
they
for us?
using you? Oh, actual possibility.
No problem.
Don't be pushover, dude. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, they're laughing at
See
you.
what I mean?
Don't be jealous just because I got 2 bitches.
Wow! That's fun! The show gonna be fun. I'm not sure what I feel about this art style with this other thing. I think I'm fine. But I don't care. Or want me to join. Don't be jealous. It's freaking late.
Back there.
Yeah, that's late. Wait, the ladies.
Oh, yeah, no pockets.
Yeah. You take my clothes and say I couldn't wear it.
Bitches.
To protect them. I'll give them coat. You can keep coats in a bus. Okay, they probably will steal it.
They seem to be in better hands. Also, I don't think I've ever even remotely seen you take interest in a girl before.
We're clubbing, Clay.
I'm getting
What
old.
do you do?
Puberty made.
Jackets are our ticket into a fun night.
Yeah.
Those jackets are for myself. And I already have a jacket.
What kind of person would I be to not at least return them?
Sorry.
I'm telling you, Clay, if there's one thing a lady loves, it's a gentleman.
Did you ever met?
Look, I owe one, you owe
Ladies
the
who like
other.
gentlemen.
How does that sound?
Hell no. I'm already forced to stand in the cold
You-
only to enter a hot, sweaty...
Oh, you have
room
jackets, we
twice
can
a
wear
night.
them.
My hands aren't leaving my damn pockets till I get home.
Come on, it's about the experience. How else are you gonna meet new people and live a little?
Yeah, if they're as cool as those fine scholars on the bus ride we just sat through, then, yeah, it's gonna suck.
No trainers. Scrapes up the
What?
floors.
But these are new trainers?
The rules are rules. Like we're walking bare feet. Panda painted. I'm not even sure that you're bare.
Said no trainers.
Are you also Joshua? Well, we're bareless. We don't have our clothes at all. We embrace animal instinct. So. Yeah, well. We can in. Gentlemen, you follow the rules. It's a nudist club if you know.
Okay, go in.
Yeah, but the hell.
Where to first?
I don't know, let's see. Arcade? Bar? Hard to tell. Yeah, your luck is empty. Did someone steal your wallet? Again, you leave. I follow.
What are we even supposed to do in here?
Hey, how
Drink,
about we
dance.
try and find our
arcade.
ladies? They're bound to be looking for us.
But no, you're the
And
ladies.
if we give them
I don't
back
want the
their
ladies.
jackets, They might even, you know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Me
hopes for
neither.
you.
I was hoping you did.
Okay, well, you do that. I think it'd be better off to find a nice, quiet place I could just sit down.
It's a
and
club, you're not
relax.
gonna find a quiet place. You can get drunk, actually it's a bad habit, can be developed. And you thought it would be time to abuse this power of alcohol. And maybe I have non-alcoholic drinks. Some do. Or less alcoholic drinks. You know how to have fun? Oh, that's your character, I guess. Oh, I'm having fun! Relax, have fun, what else you can do? There, you can come to me. So now you meet with Bisha officially. That's a goal. Will this goal get you happy? That's freaking no.
As long as I'm carrying these around.
Dude,
Hey,
you're gonna regret
What are you doing with my jacket?
your jacket.
No, you're mistaken. This is the jacket of my pal's future girlfriend. Let me see.
I don't remember. Is it actually a
No, it's not.
I wasn't even close to you. Well, get a drink. No, you listen to music. And man, there's no one dancing, so it will be bloody awkward to dance.
Hi there.
What's up?
What?
Hi!
I said hi there.
I can't hear you.
I can tell.
What'd you say?
Hi there.
What?
I said hi there.
Okay, ignore. It's loud music, I really have to make it clear. Yeah, just make it more awkward. Though. I'm going to the bar. Yeah, bye.
Hey man, I saw you in line with this girl.
Yeah, I'm
My
f***ing her,
girl,
dude.
by the way.
Not yours,
I was
dude.
wondering, you
We're
know,
dating.
if you saw where she went.
Are you still wet?
She said,
You know you're dripping, right?
What? Oh, dripping. Yeah, I'm wet.
yeah, my dad tells me I'm dripping with good looks. Anyway, so I wanted to know if you had seen these two girls around here.
Why do you look like that?
Then why you look like that?
Oh, yeah, you mean...
Because we're different species.
Actually, that girl you were with.
You look stupid.
Okay, but I was...
And you look better?
I do?
Nice. Oh, see you later, coat rack.
Are you bloody hell? Are they? Is it the? Wait, maybe it's Lyle. Oh no, it's not Lyle. Is it? Need to check the voice outfit. I'm curious. I feel like that's full familiar voice. Ah, you're just spending money all over. Was freaking money for hanging the cloak?
Oh, thank God. Silence.
Yeah, not so much silence though. You have no money, brother.
These here for a few hours?
Nah.
I gotta get back to my friend.
Sure, that'll be $30.
Yeah, let's have money. You can go to him first.
I have to pay?
Yeah, weird.
These jackets here?
You can buy one and one on yourself.
So you're telling me I have to pay to get a ride over here? Pay to get into this sweaty dump, which will be a big
You pay?
haul tomorrow. And I'm expected to lug these two jackets, which aren't even mine, by the way, around all night without paying another $30?
And it's 30 for the jackets. Price of 5. That's life, mate. And it's handmade bar or club.
These things are cursed.
Alright, mate.
And of course, there's nowhere to sit.
Ah, that was ordered. Okay, probably no, don't people too wild. How you know?
Better than standing, I guess. Oh God, should I do this? What if she's saving that seat for a friend? Or wants to be left alone? Crap, she's
Who cares?
beelining directly towards her. Nice, Clay, that doesn't come off as psychotic.
Well, names.
Well, I've
You're
got
not psychotic because you want to see it.
rest of it.
And if it's yours, you can kick you out. Hey, might be a new friend. Well, look at me at least.
So, what brings you here?
Friend. And I'm freaking social as hell. Don't
Oh,
do
I didn't
this.
want to come. My mom made me.
Well, that's Zach. Well, true.
I mean, you know, what a bitch, right?
Don't. Well,
I'm gonna go.
Have fun.
Perfect. That'll make school on Monday fun. I'm pretty damn
Yes.
sure she's in math too.
Yo, what's your problem, man?
What?
You almost just stepped on my girlfriend.
what? Your taste, I see.
Well, how does that work?
Yo, what the fuck?
Amazingly.
Sorry.
Watch it. Watch it.
Man, this series is actually very interesting to me. Kinda going to interesting topics.
Come over here.
I don't know.
I wanna.
Look, man, I don't really want to be here right now, so no, I'm not interested in seeing what you got. This whole night has been a big mistake, and at this point, I just want to go home.
Hey, brother. Relax. I was just gonna offer you something to take the edge off.
But thank you.
Yeah, as far as you know.
Holy! Are you even allowed to have that in here?
Dude, there's drinks everywhere. Is it not drinks everywhere?
No one heard him.
Hey,
bet you $20 he's gonna pussy out, huh? $20.
Козак. Lovely.
Okay, right? What you just said right there, that's the reason why nobody wants to take the shift with you. That's why.
Well, sorry, just like playing poker with you, mate.
Attitude.
I don't like betting, well, actually, I do like betting, but I don't like betting on human lives.
Good one.
What's with the cape, super dipshit?
Yours, familiar voice.
Hey. Clay?
Yeah, sorry, wasted. But I'm happy.
Actually look happy
But
to
also
be
can be
here.
very bad.
No, I'm great. Just perfect.
Hey, look me in the eye.
Wow.
Are you drunk?
What? No, just a little something to take the edge
That
off.
could be a bad habit of yours.
You drink the whole bottle.
Well, you gave it
I'm
to
taking
me.
the H.
Jeez.
Oh. Well, maybe. I need to get out of
I
here.
gotta get you home.
What? But this place was finally starting to get good.
A jacket. And we just spent money.
You are not the person I was expecting to have on my arm tonight.
Yeah.
You
well,
want
they
to be on
were
my
holding
arms?
those things. They didn't want to talk to you. They were just using you.
You don't know that.
I know, brother. I see that all the time.
We just haven't had the time to meet up yet. But now I know I'll never see them again because I have to take care of you.
Wow. Lucky bastard. More penny, more person to take care of. Jackets, ladies.
Look who it is. Go on. Talk.
Well, I probably will talk to you because man, you drunk as them.
Hey, look! Remember me?
You gave me jackets. And I didn't give them a bus. Jackets!
Be cold no longer, girls. As a mouse of my word, I have held on to your jackets all night. No need to thank me.
Yeah, I have a rough night.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were gonna go ahead to another club, so if you could just like hold on to those for another couple hours, that would be
Ah, man, I have to go home.
Yeah, that'd
You're not seeing them ever again.
be-
Well, no, I'd love to join you, but I gotta take care of my friend. Looks like some people can't handle their liquor.
Yeah, no. If you could just hold on to him for a bit longer, that would be great. Thanks.
Oh, that sucks for me.
Yeah,
For me, I'm the only person who should care about myself. Okay, can I finish the sentence?
Actually, why don't you come with us and carry our jackets everywhere we go? Oh my god.
Oh my god, like our own little butler.
Can we keep them in
You
freaking
wanna
someplace?
be a coat rack. How does that sound? You want to be a coat rack?
Well, my freaking dream.
Alright, okay. Hold out your arm. See, Claire, he's like
Yeah.
a servant.
Don't have this in a voice no more.
Adorable.
Look, why don't you just take the damn jackets already and leave the guy alone?
You cannot talk to her like that.
I just
Do
did.
however I damn please. This would be over if you just take the stupid jackets back for the love of God.
Don't act like you know me. You don't know where I'm from. You don't know what I'm
Well, can you tell me? I'll make fun of it.
Jesus Christ! Just shut the hell up about these goddamn jackets already!
What the heck?
You forgot the second one.
That felt good.
Want to do again? Wanna rip? Want to do more? Come for me as well.
Those were expensive.
Well, no more. Run?
So?
I'm gonna be sick.
Let's hope we never see again. Oh, that could be an enemy. Antagonist. Let's use the fancy term.
Yeah. Hey, sorry tonight sucked.
Get better at the end.
Well, despite all that, I still appreciate you trying to get me out of the house. I actually did have fun.
Really?
Well, no, I mean the start kind of sucked, but after
Yeah.
a while, I sort of warmed up to it.
Yes, Thomas kind of warm-up guy.
Get me out of that at
Person.
least. I guess I need to stop letting people walk all over me.
What are you talking about?
Well, in the future, we have other series to do.
Oh yeah. Never took you for the drinking type.
Depression.
Tell my mom.
Deal. Definitely seemed to help at least.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, don't make it a habit. Or maybe it will be a habit. Who knows? I personally take booze very carefully. Practically never drink at all. You can take your liquor at all. Okay, Michael... so fast, I'm not able to read them all. But I'm very interesting voice actors. Obviously, I recognize Tomer and Zach. Which internet fucking voice actors. Man, they're almost on the same level as Michael Kovac. I mean, they're freaking everyone on the internet on slash web media. And in the end, the school poster. Posters are... You have watched already? Well, I guess you make it fast. Huh? Who's that? Did you die? Well, I guess freaking no one cares about her. Especially when she's so tiny. Wow, what are we holding? Is it beans? Is it candles? What's up? That's weird. And those weird in memories also confuse me. Because I never know, is it real or not? Because people do them real and people do them for the joke. Okay, final thoughts. Man, okay. Animation can get me interesting. It kind of was interesting animation. And a very interesting combo. Which one I don't even know how to really feel about it. I really have no idea how to feel about animation because man, this animation difference is so very noticeable. Again, to get to the final thoughts, I am not able to. I don't know, do I like it, do I hate it? I don't think I. I'm just confused what to say about this animation style. Now for the plot, okay, possible for the voice actors, and man, my friends can say, I mean, I just freaking love the voice casting cast. And they fit the role perfectly of Zack being this freaking realistic guy. Ah, man, love it. Freaking love it. And Michael Kovac, I think it was freaking Michael Kovac. Oh, body. His animation roles is getting higher and higher. Web king of web animation. Now, what else can I say? How old are they? I mean, I don't understand age at all. They will say again. American school system, I'll not understand because, man, I am not in American school system. I have a bit of different story of childhood. But kinda, they go to club. Man, because man, they seem like very young to me, but maybe like preteens they are. And I freaking never go to club when I was preteen. I'd say I go clubbing when I was freaking in college, when I was a teenager. And I kind of already started growing hair, it's kind of was I decided when to go clubbing. They kind of also, I just realized there could be some babes there because man, I'll be honest, okay man, I am not outside person at all. So I'm kind of like Clay. His name was Clay, or Cat, or who knows. Like I am not an outside person. And I don't really like being outside. And most when I go outside, it's just for some certain goal. And kinda I just usually try to find this reason for me to go outside. Sometimes to hang out with friends, sometimes for some goals, and sometimes just for different goals. Kinda I go outside and when I feel this goal, I just go home. When I didn't do it, I just go home anyway. But it depends if I stay out long outside for way too long. Also my time just run out. My next video will be to do it. Now, clubbing. Okay, what the hell are you working? At clubbing where I go, I want to find some babes. Because man, I don't really enjoy clubbing situation at all. Most finding babes is also kind of the case where I go outside. Because it's an amazing reason to go outside. And most when they have nothing in town, it's also an amazing reason to go there. I can't still censor myself because man, I want to be more open with sexuality and sex in generally, but also I can see some people being somewhat discomforted by it. But also I just would be comfortable by saying it out loud and saying it proudly. Because man, if I'm not proud of it, I'm bloody will be freaking miserable, so it should be bloody accepted at this point. I just go clubbing and find some babes. So usually I don't go clubbing to club, I just go to fun, meet some interesting people with whom I can have some fun. And sometimes as well, and sometimes I just go sit home. Sometimes I succeed and I go happy home, or not home. I usually don't try to take them my home because man, my home is not ready. It's kinda messy there. Usually I don't plan for that. Just randomly go there when I have random desires. But yeah, clubbing. I guess I also kinda don't have much to do because when I start trying to talk to people, the kind of people become this part of the fun with. But those clubbing things get hard to hear. 9 plus mate, generous sexual love is not lucky because man, I am not looking for partner, I'm looking for a mate. And a sexual way, which in my town is looked down on. And I'm looking like a picking pig. It's look I have to accept, but also a look which I don't really like. But it's just the truth. But also man, them like constantly talking about bitches and them constantly talking about drinking. It's like they kinda feel like too young for me to do that stuff. But also I did I was not that young. Maybe I like misunderstand their age. Maybe like they recently preteens, maybe like they already started growing some hair on the body. And about to hit the teenagers years. Because man, I think I was proper teenager when I like went to club. Or even start talking about and actually have some secret desires. Because man, before I started interesting story. In school, one of my classmates had a crush on me. I know bloody story. But it was pretty obvious because she was staring into straight to my face. Well, not straight to my face. She like make some comments on WhatsApp for me, which I didn't really understand. And I remember on the Valentine's Day she came to me and said, I don't need a gift from you. Which I didn't freaking understand. What of a man. I think there's lots of cases where people have a crush on me and they don't make it obvious, I will not see it. Because man, I remember lots of times when I walk with someone and next to me my mom, and that someone have a crush on me. My mom will go, oh, she thought he was crushing on you. And I just don't see it because, well, she didn't tell me. Or she didn't like make it so obvious. Also, I think there was like an opposite thing when someone was very nice to me, and I take it for they have interest in me. But then there was no interest in them at all. Which was interesting. You can also have thought about booze. Because man, I drink but not a lot. I drink very rarely because man, whenever I actually do drink, people are surprised and say, I didn't thought you were drinking at all. Because man, don't drink at all. I only drink on very special occasion. Also man, not even special occasion. Like I'm saying very, very special occasion. Mostly, whenever I drink, yes, I have random synapses in my brain shooting and saying me, okay, just drink in this time. Because man, usually I try to get out of my way not to drink at all. Like I don't drink at all. And usually when I drink, I have this random response in my mind saying, you know, why not drink today? And actually I start drinking, which in lots of cases kind of surprise people because man, they just thought I don't drink at all. Because man, what's my opinion about booze? I mean, I can understand booze, but I cannot understand drunk people. Okay, I can understand people. I'm kind of fine with booze, but drunk people who abuse this power is crazy. I mean, again, kind of nice example saying that booze is kinda letting you get loose or letting you loosen up, which can be helpful because sometimes you can have a stick up your ass and be stiff and not really enjoying yourself because you have this false kind of booze can be like slightly destroyed. But kind of when you drink a lot of booze, can lead to destroy it and you just become true self and we all freaking animals and we all suck. Which I freaking hate people like that who, man, it's kind of the true self, but also I guess you kind of want not to see this worse in them. So I like don't respect. Well, bonus also they kind of become lost in the space, and which can become very annoying. So I don't really like drunk people. It can also be the same reason why I don't drink at all because man, kinda losing self, I lose control of myself. It's kind of one of the things I bloody hate and don't want to have because when I was supposed to change, I think I always want to have. Although kind of weirdly, I'm totally fine with weed and that stuff. Although I never let smoke, but kind of if I have a case where I can smoke it in different country or in different legal situation, I 100% would. But kinda interestingly, yeah, 100% would. It's kinda maybe because I don't see myself becoming a problem when I'm high, when I'm drunk. Because when I'm drunk, I kinda see myself becoming a problem and being aggressive. When I'm high, I kinda think there will be different effect, which kinda will just make me not able to be aggressive. And I see booze make you aggressive and weed make you calmer. Unless you maybe a treatment. Well, kinda interesting thought which I usually have very hard complaining or explaining. Almost because I never been high before, never smoked weed. It's kinda like a case where I want to try. And then also weird because, okay, man, I drink beer. So I try it. Weed I never tried. Maybe I want to try to see how it will feel. I never like bloody ever smoke again. or smoke again, but that's no depends if I like it or not. Because also kind of drinking beer is not really a process I enjoy. Because beer taste is not enjoyable to me. Because it's not like a taste to which one I return. It's also kind of I don't really like the taste, so that's one of the reasons why I don't return to that. Or even like the feel is not so much enjoyable. Man, it's kind of also interesting case of man, this show is interesting. I guess just depict. Okay, it's kind of show where we have an anxious guy who is a loser. You're gonna get to see his side of he's antisocial, he doesn't want to do that. Because when that guy does such realistic things. And I say realistic things, so kinda oh god, how can I describe it? It's hard to way to describe. I guess the show is just so freaking realistic to me. Like these characters talk like people and they do stuff like people. It's not like cartoony characters. But also they don't act like kids. Well, like, they kinda seem very young to me, but man, they're like adults. Well, somewhat like teenagers. Yes, I thought they were younger. Yes, a very freaking realistic shows, I guess. It kinda even caught me off guard. Then maybe I have not much to say to it. Because it feels so bloody realistic. Was I in this situation? But not exactly, no, some, I don't know. I think I'm usually very anxious and usually indoor person. The time I go outside and try to play it up a little bit and try to turn some of my personas there. And once I would say, man, I really like my YouTube channel because man, my YouTube channel kinda create me a new persona of this chip, of this Christopher. And I kinda like to separate my real self with my Christopher self. I see my true self as somewhat anxious and somewhat being like clay, but even maybe worse because it's somewhat covered. But my Christopher self is kinda more open and more talkable and more fun type of person. I kinda think I'm trying to, I think when I go outside and trying to act a little bit more, I kinda think I create a fusion of both. I kinda feel people can easily see from some of my facts. Because when I really like cheap persona, man, I kinda can use it outside and I think I start using it more outside. I kinda think it's a nice way to interact with people, like my cheap persona is amazing with interaction with people. And I'm trying to be more like that. But also my real self, which is my real self, which I have for my channel, kinda also still existing, kinda still kicking. Just I develop my action in some way. I guess it's also one of the reasons why I don't talk about sexual stuff at all. My real self is kinda still there. And it's kinda, man, it's a show which kinda get me to talk about interesting topics. Because man, it's a web series, which I think lots of web series are trying to do. Actually, I think it's a thing with all web series, they trying to hit the real spots. They all trying to hit the real spots. They're trying to be serious and talk about serious problems. That's Merkles did that. Hello Boss does it. Modern does, I think it does it less because Modern is more about this horror, this mystery, and this mysterious parts of the characters. So I think Modern don't really go into real life. There's Circus kinda go into that, but I think Jesus Circus is still just starting and it's still going. Still going. But I'm gonna ask me about that. Which kinda also get me to interesting topic. I mean, okay, I think with this series, it's kinda always creators trying to talk about their life or trying to show it or somewhat try to get realistic. So I think kinda people compare web animation with this type of real life animation, kinda saying. I guess nice example would be all this non-serious shows. Kinda would be The Mighty Ones, Oddballs, kinda again, what shows? Cartoon Mikey or something like that. Kinda, this series are episodic. And then you try to hit this deep spot. And most characters have flaws but never work through the problem. So if they do, it kinda will demolish in the next episode. So kinda episodic show, how I want to say. There's lots of episodic shows which continue still. Lots of cancellation series. I think lots of series are not that episodic. And that's the one I can remember right now. Interesting to think about. Those kind of, I think, catching up on this meaning of this episode catching up is the scene. It's kind of catching up like we didn't see for a while, now finally meeting, so we can have friends. I guess kind of growing up and that stuff. I don't know what to say. The show leave an impact. I mean, it's a big impact. It's a big I enjoy. It's kind of get me talking about my life, which not lots of shows make me talk about my life. I mean, I didn't talk about my life when I was Monet Drones because I am not struggling with всякие demon possessing me. Yes, все, что didn't like hit me that much because man, I don't have like identity crisis. If what I think about my identity very less, not less. My inner self, if I'm real or not, it's not a freaking question what is meaning of my life because man, I finally have answered this question a long time ago. So I'm not even questioning or not even being consumed of this one. I freaking find my meaning in life and it's freaking good meaning in life. Of course, sometimes fight with people, but also it's people who want me to just reproduce, have family, die old, and you know, the family surrounding me. Shit, it's not really I think I'm going right now in my life, and I'm not sure when I will. And I won't say it will not happen ever, but at this moment in my life, I'm not gonna rush. I mean, I'm at 20s and I'm not freaking gonna rush to have kids because man, life is not freaking speedrun. I'm not freaking jumping into my own grave to save time because I'm gonna die anyway. But again, I think on this note, man, I didn't really talk about this one, but I think like there's not much I can say about this series, about what happened in the series, but there's more I can talk about my personal life and just general experience I had when I was younger. Which again, not much because I don't really remember my youth. Really remember my youth, to be fair. My youth I was bullied, but never like this. Man, again, I have some bullies, but man, most of my bullies just disappeared through the void because man, I was not interesting to bully. Yeah, plus again, some bullies just left because time, passage, time, they all disappeared just. And man, I think I was outcasted, but I don't really care about myself being outcasted. I just find my own friend groups and not being in these friend groups. Yeah, again, it's not really I try to fit in at all. You know, I'm just being chill with everything. But the worm, maybe it's something about the worm. I mean, it's freaking girls trying to into you. It's freaking gender reversal, which I bloody like, and maybe that's how she died. That's some freaking death. But on this note, not much can say. I mean, this series is nice. Again, I like lots of stuff. So it's not even freaking price. But on this note, let's watch this bonus materials of Behind the Scene and Kickstarter. Literally two playlists I hit right there. Let's go right bloody now. After messing with settings. Obviously, I'm messing with settings all the time. And maybe I will take a deep break. Wait, do I? Hold up, I will keep this thought for later. But yeah, I need to take a speed. Okay, so deep break is over. Oh, let's watch. I made the cartoon. Let's freaking watch that bloody now.
I genuinely thought this day would never come.
Do you want this day to come? Is it a random day or you always want to make cartoons?
Right off the bat, I just want to say
I mean, did I? Okay. Oh, I'm talking about myself. I won't talk about myself.
No joke, my goal for the show was getting a positive like to dislike ratio.
And
so
how is it?
I achieved my goal. So
I don't see dislikes. Oh, so we'll be reviewing characters? Will she remember this day? Or will you hate her? Would be funny if Sherlock Holmes will come back and remember the day. Would be funny the moment which everyone remember and you wish they forgot. Plus one. I didn't like it, I will like it later. I want to like my channel which I do for reactions. Really? But it's enough for me.
It's safe to say at this point that the response to the pilot has blown all my expectations out of the water.
You have the expectation?
So I'm ready to jump right into creating a second episode as soon as possible.
Already?
With many members of the original team eager to continue working on more catching up. This includes hiring my friend Rebecca to be an animation director to make sure production is as efficient as possible. She's had experience working on a ton of cartoons for Netflix and Disney.
I remember this guy, comedian musician, did music about her.
I'd love to make an entire season of catching up, and so I've included further stretch goals to open up the possibility of creating more than a single episode.
Wait, episode 2, you forgot about the him? Or you just start making on it? So any puns? Any finale? Obviously, that's always. Blu-ray? Wait, you're gonna have extra Blu-ray? What? Can you do this? I have no idea how it works. What if I never have desire to make a cartoon series? Even I have desire to make comics or games. Scheiße, do not know how to make them.
Over the course of working
I don't think I have any comic series which is big for game also, I don't think so. I don't think I have enough possibility to be direct.
Exploring themes of maturing, fitting in.
I don't even know how to get a team.
Put on teenagers to start acting older even when they aren't ready. I've already
how old are
started
they?
work on planning out a second episode, and I'm ready to begin production on it as soon as the
I guess it's kind of amazing filming.
With rewards.
Man, I'm so surprised by this filming.
I hope you consider back and catching up and look forward to what we make in the future.
I will. I'm already started, so I'm gonna finish it. Plus, I'm gonna watch some of your original stuff, which before catching up. You know, the reviews, essay you do. Of course, I forget the word.
It ain't perfect, and there are definitely issues with it that I want to address as we go on.
Let's hear them. Maybe I will address them as well.
An incredibly fun, inciting, and only mostly stressful experience that has given me much greater appreciation for the work that goes into making a full cartoon. Want to hear something insane? When I started working on catching up, this was my most recent video at the time. And this is how it sounded. But at the end of the day, Clarence is a comedy, and its main goal is to
it was this young!
accomplish this. Well, in my
But you did actually start. Wow.
I genuinely
it is hard.
Talk in a video like that again, even if I try.
Yeah.
I find it fitting to sit down and finally talk about the cartoon.
Plus, I mean, you have to have desire. And I don't desire. So that's why I never make game cartoon.
Building a crew, scrapping everything, and starting over, we'll get to it, and then finally releasing it. Also, where I want to take the project going forward.
Let's see.
Originally, this video was going to come out before the cartoon.
Let's see, boss.
Give folks an idea of what I was doing before they watched it, but after a while, I came to the conclusion that I should just let the thing speak for itself. And thankfully, I think that actually helped in a lot of ways. Allowed people to just go in blind and see what the fuck I've been talking about for the past few years.
What?
So, anyways, without further ado, let's talk about catching up. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
I would like.
But before we get into that, I want to take a second to talk about today's sponsor, Vogris.
It's interesting, I will keep it.
This video is sponsored by Vogris. You cannot comprehend how excited I was to have Vogris reach out to me, guys. Mainly
I don't know what it is. Keep talking. What do they do? Oh, this one they do. I never seen them sponsor anyone.
Their website is super.
Maybe I don't watch much YouTubers.
I tabled at a convention not too long ago and used them to create my own acrylic keychains and standees.
Wait, it's a Triggle? It's freaking Sonic. Copyright, what is it?
Minimum of only 3 pieces for multiple
It's maybe shitty copyright.
Deals like 8% off for no limit use and 26% discount.
Yeah, so I'm putting this thing on my thing, I don't mind it.
As well as 60 days of worry-free shipping, there's nowhere better to go than Vogris for
anywhere?
products. I feel like they speak for themselves.
Even in different countries, which like it's the nest of the world.
In the description to check out Vogris today.
Literally?
Thanks Vogris for sponsoring this video.
Wait, why Sonic gameplays? Okay, I'm keeping this, was interesting enough. Although, yeah, I keep it.
Around the end of 2019 when Has-Been Hotel came out, and, you know, no matter what you think of it, there's no denying that it completely changed what people thought was possible for independent animation.
Why it's sensitive word? Be brave, man.
Indie animation term has boomed in the past couple of years. I don't think it even really existed at all when I started catching up. I'm sure a lot of people out there had a similar experience after watching Has-Been, you know.
I will not remember.
This is possible? You can just do this?
Yes, money, internet, and that's power. We'll don't freaking around.
If you've seen this channel for
and that's my speech again.
I have quite an affection for
don't feel like censoring, to be fair.
Focusing on a couple characters just dealing with a situation and coming out the other
Lots
side.
of things I can watch. You have a history, mate.
I knew that's what I wanted to focus on.
Hey, what?
The most insanely original
just you were talking about something important.
At the time, I didn't really care. I just wanted to tell simple stories with a couple characters facing some kind of social situation and feeling completely yet coming out the other end with a positive outlook. That's why I eventually chose the name Catching Up very early into working on it. I was pretty happy to see people understand the meaning behind it, but I have seen a couple people confused since obviously the cartoon is not about two friends.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Catching up, really, in the traditional sense. But to me, it was more so in reference to the fact that it stars two guys who feel very out of place compared to the world around them.
Oh, I didn't see that purpose.
Social and keeping to himself, with the other being very outward and actively wanting to socialize.
Okay, I didn't understand it. Yes, I'm a freaking moron.
Isn't considered all that cool at his age.
It's a fact I acknowledged a long time ago.
As to how the world perceives them. You know, they're not catching up with each other, they're catching up to the kind of life you're expected to have as a teenager. Going to cool
what kind of life is that?
Chatting up girls,
I don't think of that as a teenager, although I never think I should act in any way special. That's like how I like to act.
At first, I only
often get me seriously if you think I'm a jerk.
I'd actually been trying to draw this character for a long time before.
I think I'm dick.
I had an idea for a show about a mascot for
Sadly.
a platform video game going into different game genres in every episode on his way to find, I don't know, something. I didn't.
That's an interesting topic.
Glitch text came out soon after, and I realized that was a very similar idea, so fuck me. Because
You can do the same ideas. In fact, it was our first in Drunk Board. Maybe not.
Too, like a little gray mouse or something with similar features.
But become a cat.
Once the concept shifted to being about social situations,
okay, he has a cat, he can film.
I decided I would obviously have to put more work into designing and figuring out who his friend would be. I have to apologize for how awful the sketches you're about to see are. I genuinely did not think I would get this far, and someday I would have to show them off, but originally Clay was going to be a dog or a wolf or something with a snout. He was going to work a part-time job at a crappy convenience
store. He can still work there.
And Rob would
or he'll be too lazy to go there. Maybe Rob will be one who works and hey, I have to get a job.
But that's why I gave him
so we could party.
It was supposed to be like his work uniform, but I just liked it enough to keep it that way. Also, made him a cat instead of a dog because I don't know, it felt the most obvious. Cat and mice, no shit. Funnily enough,
he kind of can't tell what health he's supposed to be. In fact, you could get slightly missed about his species. And he have different dad, species-wise.
I will go into how it actually was making the episode, but there was about 2 out of the 4 years working on this where it was all just figuring this shit out.
Years.
I got to work on a pilot script.
I mean, I do have some series I've been thinking about a long time ago. But I don't see myself making them. I think I'm too lazy and too mildly confused.
Rob moving to a new school, and on his first day he runs
Clay
and bricks his school project. Clay was a little more tough in this version, more scraggly, and so they started fighting, and it ends up with both of them going to detention and Rob trying to make it up to him by fixing his project as they end up by walking away as friends. It sucked. It was nothing, which is shit because it meant I never got to use this teacher design.
You can use him still.
I also just wanted to get away from the school setting.
Oh, the girls there.
It's terribly interesting to have episodes about, you know, the big
lots of characters will be right there, right?
Electing the school president, mostly because I didn't fucking do any of that in my school. In Ireland, you just sort of went to school, talked with your friends for 8 hours, then went home. There wasn't much effort.
That's my college. That I was forced to school. In college, I get allowed to slack off. Not really, my parents freaking hate the fact I'm slacking off. It's as I accidentally failed the class at all. They shit my parents even more pissy. Well, they can assume that I will fail. But I know how to do school. They kill kissing the girl! What's she gonna have fun with him?
Rumor that spiders crawl in your mouth at nighttime, and so it's up to
he probably does it.
Help him get over it.
It's episodes for the future.
The nothing plot allowed me to solely focus on dumb gags.
We'll mess with the fears and how you're supposed to be brave.
After finishing, I realized that the idea overall didn't work that well as a first episode.
I could tell. It could be toxic masculinity topic. They try to hide your emotions.
It was also around this time when I decided to redesign both characters.
Yeah, that was different. Oh, you see, is it they look like this? I never noticed.
I
don't think he has a hair.
A detail I just hated to draw, then I would just get rid of it. The main things there being Rob's tufts of hair, which I think ruined his silhouette. Clay's cat tail got the boot as well because I just always forgot to draw it.
So it happens to me. I forgot lots of things. I think I forgot doing media box things all the time.
Nub that's always obscured by his jacket at all times. Problem solving. I also changed Rob's colors from this ugly dark brown to a nice lighter brine with a hint of purple mixed in. My friend Allison did this art of him once where she colored him this way, and so I
you like it?
That and ended up liking it way more.
So it's still your friend's work.
Thanks, Allison.
Thanks for admitting it. I would be remiss if you telling me that.
Via Twitter, in which I find both Rob and Clay's voices in Darcy McGuire and Michael Kovac.
Oh, Kovac, yes.
Which would go on to voice characters in Murder Drones.
And media shows! And media shows! Wait, I should not be screaming, it's very loud.
Well, everything. It's not a bit of a meme that he's cast in like every indie project ever, which I think is only a testament to how talented of a voice actor he is, but at the time of me casting him as Clay, I think the biggest thing I had heard him in was the Has-Been pilot. Anyways, from there I wrote what I would want to be the pilot, focusing more on a social situation. In this case, it was
what they're saying.
They're gonna go to a high school. Jessica at the time was the first thing that came to mind. Although she didn't have a design at this point, she just kind of looked like this. I know I wanted to do something with the hat over the eyes, but
напиши такого. Like a care. I think it was молодежь такого, so no problems there. Another type, different type.
Is getting him to say hi to a lady on the street. He also sees a party nearby with a bunch of people in suits, not realizing that they're actually having a funeral party, and so convinces Clay to get a suit and tie for the night. I ended up reusing that design for Rob's fantasy sequence in the final cartoon. It's pretty similar to the final from there in terms of structure, except here Clay is the one to split off after feeling embarrassed, in which Rob starts talking to the cool cat and big dog character. Clay then tried
Is he actually cool or is he just pretending to be cool? It's a... Oh, you're actually cool here, so no, it's fine.
Off into the host's bedroom, and we learned that they used to be friends at some point. She then comes in and asks about Rob, who's out making some new friends, which makes Clay sad to see that he could be moving on without him, before getting furious to then learn that they weren't even invited to the party and Rob just stole the girl's ticket. This leads to a big build-up where Clay yells at him and then runs out onto this big...
I stole it. I just really want to be
and Rob
popular.
comes up behind him and they both apologize to each other and connect more as friends. The end. I decided from here that if I were going to make this an actual cartoon, then I wanted to fund it entirely by myself using whatever I had made from YouTube. I kind of recognized how fortunate of a position I was in, and didn't want to...
Lucky bastard, I couldn't say the same thing for me. For my game actually is a shit. I acknowledge that, sometimes.
Lillian to revise it, and reached out to a recent mutual I had acquired, Rebecca. I saw on her profile that she had been working at Mercury on shows like Hilda and The Tangled Show, both of which I thought looked amazing, and so started asking her about rigged animation and the overall process of putting them together. Pretty early on, I decided that I wanted to focus on rigged animation over frame by frame.
Rigged animation? What is it?
One, because it cuts down on costs monumentally, but also
wait, what is rigged animation? Maybe it's good for me to learn.
Rigged animation that it inherently looks bad. Frame-by-frame
animation
it's okay to think. Can look absolutely phenomenal, but when done poorly can really hinder the visuals of
I need to learn how the rigged animation is. I mean, I don't make a lot of animation, but maybe it will help me to get my kick in the ass and maybe stop me lazy.
Retakes are more simple, you don't have to worry about cleanup or
I don't mind, also I think I'm not using animation software. I freaking use script to animate and I'll use the setup which... Oh wait, until it's finished.
I'd also garnered a couple animators at this point who wanted to help out, on top of reaching out to Getty K for backgrounds. I found her art online and fell in love with the style she had. I loved the idea of having this
background is interesting, but those kind of background which is different art style, which kind of they girls use.
And was absolutely ecstatic when she got back to me saying she'd be willing to work on the cartoon.
Ah man, it's hard to find a crew. You make it so easy. Okay, to find a crew you have to actually do something, and again it's kinda me being lazy. Which one of the reasons why I probably never make something good.
Who knows though, maybe in a future episode.
I guess costing shit to myself.
With that, it was time to start animating the first scene, which was gonna be of Rob's dad dropping he and Clay off at the house party.
Voiced by amazing person by name Joshua Thomas.
For the final cartoon. Although the dialogue here is entirely different. Actually, I'll just let the whole scene play out to give you an idea.
I would like to see.
Thanks for dropping us off, Dad.
All right, have a nice time, Robbie. Now, try not to get too many girls.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Don't get anything at all.
I don't think your dad likes me very much.
What are you talking about? He loves you. Besides,
He just did some shitty things in the
Steve
preview.
and buddies to worry about what he thinks.
If you couldn't tell, while the overall tone is similar, the main difference between the two pilots are Rob as a character. His naivete in this version was really pushed up to the extreme.
Oh.
He was way more of a happy-go-lucky, everything-is fine kind of character, and that never really broke throughout the cartoon until the end where Clay got mad at him. This is where things changed, though. We got exactly 2 shots into animating this episode. One was fully complete.
I really don't think you know what people go to these parties for. And I still think we look pretty dumb wearing these outfits.
But that exact same week, I told everyone to stop what they were doing, because I wanted to scrap everything and start over.
Idiot!
Why? At this point, it was August of 2021, and I'd been working on the cartoon for around a year. This was by far the longest I'd ever spent on any project, and something that started happening from then was second-guessing everything. I think the fact that
just get it out. Although maybe if you don't question things, it's gonna be good. I know I'm the type of guy who can just upload anything. I mean, my crook is like the example of that. My first crook furniture was not yet better to remake it anymore. Oh, I will make it when I can do that.
That was inherently wrong with it. I had just never experienced that feeling before of looking at something for so long that it started becoming mushy.
It's gonna look like this.
Every scene, every piece of dialogue felt completely scattered, like nothing made sense. I started showing it to people around this time to get their thoughts on it, and most of what I would end up asking them was simply, does this make sense? Can you follow along? What's happening?
Yes.
Am I going crazy?
Maybe.
And despite pretty much everyone saying that it was solid and nothing was really wrong with it, I just wouldn't believe anything.
They did say it was the best!
Everyone had been lying to me. I genuinely felt like I was
I gotta put the same thing every time.
At that point, I decided
people then compliment me.
That's actually where that montage came into play. Originally, it was just a scene of Rob taking Clay into his room to look for the suit and tie before I decided a montage would work better. I think I also included a scene of them walking outside their school and seeing their journey home as they talk about the party. Changes that I do think were for the better, but it's a thing where once I had made that first change, once I had decided it was okay to rework something, the floodgates just opened and I started changing shit left and right. Dialogue, scene placement, everything. And it was only when I started rewriting and re-storyboarding the entire ending where I decided to stop and just quit. This may seem insane, by the way, like in retrospect, just fucking finish it is the mindset I should have had, but I really cannot explain how it felt at the time. Pretty sure I thought them having their big heartfelt bonding moment happen on the top of a hill was a bit cliche or too perfect of a scenario or something.
I mean, you have a hill.
Got as far as me
Maybe on a fence.
Climbing over Clay's fence to talk with him in his shitty yard. But so much had changed by then that a part of me thought, well, hey, maybe a fresh start would be better.
Maybe don't have the stuff at all.
Something. This was a dumb decision. I cannot stress enough how much I should have just taken a step back from the project for a month or two and came back with a fresh pair of eyes. Because a couple months ago, while compiling assets for potential art books that I might do in the future, with me from a few years ago doing all the voices as a placeholder. Wait a second, Jessica Jacobs is throwing this party? Yeah, do you know her? Yeah, but we don't really talk anymore. Oh. So what are you doing tonight? I don't know, watch TV? Oh, we did that last night. I don't invite you.
I like doing it all the time.
And I was surprised to see that I actually liked it a lot. I really liked it. Lillian and Javi made some really funny cartoony boards with a bunch of fun gags, and I found the through line to actually work pretty well in retrospect.
The only little thief, let's explain it.
This the way I do now, then I probably would have finished it. But that's not what happened. Whoops. I actually never had a full animatic with the voice actors done for this version of the cartoon, only the dad dropping off scene which I had put the voices in. Again, I was so in my own head about everything that I couldn't even hear the voice actors reading the lines without covering my eyes like I just wasted everyone's time. But because of this
I mean, if you pay a secret base as much as you want.
I've actually started to become pretty proud of it.
I ain't gonna think it would have been type of work for a long time being wasted.
Finished the animatic I started 4 years ago. Like I said,
how much would charge? I would charge. Oh, I don't know.
Back when the show had a much more kid-friendly tone. I think
I'm trying to think of myself as being voice actor because I'm trying to do some of being guest actor. I don't get no voice acting experience.
I never really remember anyone having house parties when I was growing up. At least not that I knew about. It was all about
I used to have house party.
Underage discos where you
was also invited to house party, but there was nothing there and at some point it get boring. This one for the first time, and the second one.
I also remember absolutely hating it when my friends would say they're going to one on the weekend. I always had better memories of what we did at home before and after the club, but going there was a nightmare. I'd just take my phone out every 5 minutes and wait for an appropriate time to leave.
I would just listen to music.
I thought more about the future of catching up, and that if I ever were to make more episodes, then I would want it to pull from my experiences as a teenager. The awful shit I had to do that I hated, but thinking back, I'm glad I did. I wanted the overall theme of the series to focus on the fact that around that age you're kind of expected to be doing all this shit that me and my friends were just not interested in. But despite that lack of interest, we had to do it anyway because it was just sort of what you did living in a rural neighborhood where there wasn't many options for what to do on a Friday night. When you aren't old enough to go to a pub or something. I no longer liked the idea
of go to the pub. Man, I don't have a pub. Another good pub is like Swava and the car.
If someone acted like that when I was growing up, they'd be considered a fucking freak. I also liked the idea that if Clay just chilled out and stopped having such a negative outlook on things, then he'd probably get along just fine with other people. It was also around that time I realized the current voice for Rob, which fit
I'm being so sorry actually, man, I have nothing to say.
Something I imagined would work as great.
We just talk really about creating this stuff.
Which is how I went.
And I guess I have no experience with this one, I just want to listen to you.
Who initially was tied for the voice of Rob early on before I initially chose Darcy. I really loved Darcy's performance as Rob. It was really innocent and
how does the second guy
given the personality change, I felt going with something a little more raspy would fit better for the rewrite. I realized then that I wanted the theme of the show to be about experiences. The fact that both characters are put through uncomfortable situations, in Clay's case against his will, before turning around at the end and both of them realizing that they're glad they went through it, no matter what the outcome was. That they've come out the other end a little more self-aware, a little less naive on this transition from kids to adults. That's also why I like the idea so much of having the first half of the plot focus on showing Clay and Rob together, and then the latter half seeing them split up. Us getting to view how they are interacting with the outside world. before ultimately coming together
And
at
Bob
the end,
Fell.
a moment that grows them
There were
slightly
some
closer as
moment
friends.
hurdles that become
That's
chill.
also
You
why I
said
wanted to
already.
make sure they were both total opposites in how they would interact with people. Rob embracing new experiences and Clay rejecting it. However, in Rob's attempt to act mature in a superficial way, by acting like he knows everything and eventually deciding to have him swear, we see his worldview shattered as nothing he knew about any of this was real. Again, it was all superficial. That's why I wanted that scene later of Clay getting so nervous when talking to the girl that he just straight up calls his mom a bitch, like Rob does to the girls earlier. I wanted that to kind of reflect Clay in that moment, trying to act more like Rob in a moment of panic.
Oh, I didn't realize it.
Finding out that doesn't really work. Then Clay is the reverse, you know, he doesn't want anything to do with any of this. He kind of likes the more isolated life he has and rejects the
it's
idea
nice
that
like...
because he's older, he should be
But
going
yes,
out
you
and
kind of have
chatting
to
up
go.
girls and
Do you
partying.
really have to? And I'm trying to force myself to go outside because I think it's healthy.
The more he finds himself fitting in and having a good time.
Sometimes I need to
Struggle
go.
with the idea of growing up and in a way aren't mature enough to handle it. But they at least by the end of the cartoon are able to come together and recognize that they're there for each other in this new and frightening period of their lives. And that's why it's called Catching Up. Yeah, and that's all just a long-winded way of saying what I know wanted from the cartoon is not something I felt was
And I will
reflected
take my
in the
bigger
original
ink,
pilot.
the smaller ink does not
For a
count
long
it.
while, I was seriously considering just making 2 episodes and releasing them both at the same time. Again, stupid. But eventually, I came to realize that if I wasn't happy working on the current pilot and had an entirely different one ready to go that I liked way better, then I should just fucking make it. It's also why the tone changed. If I were to make more of this, then I wanted to pull from my own experience. And I knew I couldn't truly do that in the way I would want to if it were for kids. I would sort of have to restrict myself. But at the same time, I didn't want to exclusively direct it towards adults either because again, it's focused on teenagers and those experiences.
Oh.
And so then I came to realize, who fucking cares? I'm making it for you. It's not like I have to answer to anyone.
Oh, kids no swears.
Not
innocent at all.
So if I want the mouse to say bitches, then he's gonna say bitches. If I just had to put a number on it,
so it's realistic.
the target demographic
it's alright.
is probably somewhere between the ages of 12 and 18. And I know the kids this age are saying way worse stuff than whatever I could write. And so then the decision was made to not restrict myself into exclusively writing it as a kid's cartoon. Within reason, you know, I wanted to make sure that if I were to add swears somewhere, it had to serve a purpose in some way. Like, to me, writing Rob calling Clay a jerk or something would just seem so
it's not even a swear.
I would get beaten up for calling someone that where I grew up. I wouldn't say you're a jerk, I'd say you're an asshole, dickhead. So I thought, if appropriate, you know, who cares if I add a swear in here and there? You might just fundamentally disagree with that opinion, you know, you write it as a kid's cartoon or an adult cartoon. It stars teenagers and their animals, therefore, kids cartoon. And that's genuinely fine if you think that. I personally just disagree. Again, it's the internet, it's YouTube. The freedom's there, so why not take it? It's like getting upset about, I don't know, rude removal to me. Another thing I felt around this time was relief that I barely talked about this cartoon online. I purposefully tried not to put a definitive release date on it, mostly why the announcement came like 2 days before. I was also happy that I made the decision early on to fund the entire thing myself. It's not like I had to come forward and apologize to everyone.
First can fund,
take another year or 2 to make.
Hey, people.
It meant I had a lot of freedom for experimentation, and I think that definitely helped the cartoon out in the end.
Ah, yeah, I see. Yeah. Make a cartoon and Kickstarter.
Wasn't working too well in this version. I'd initially wrote him to have the exact same carefree attitude as the original pilot, but thought it would open up a lot more opportunities for jokes if he had a slightly more incel type of vibe. He really wants everything he thinks he should have at that age, and doesn't realize how much of a loser he actually comes across when trying to get it.
I'm not a loser, but I'm not acting like a loser. Hey, don't act like a loser. I'm not a loser when I'm accepting I'm a loser.
He's asking for it because of his expectations, you know? Things were still changing a lot though, mostly adding scenes. The cartoon started as a 13-minute animatic, but over the course of the production it grew to 19, which I was not expecting. That number was quite a shock to me. I definitely think I could have tightened things up more, make everything a little snappier, but at the same time, every scene that I added I think was for the best. Originally, it started with Clay walking home. What happened at school was implied to have been annoying, but I realized it was not a good enough introduction to either character. That whole scene of Rob talking to the big Kellen Goffwolf wasn't there, but I wanted a moment to show that Rob was still actively seeking out the
I think it's just fun.
And also a moment
not punk with punk, but punk with joke.
Break a little. Clay talking with the girl at the table and almost stepping on the worm was never there. Originally, he just went straight to the Cool Cat character. The gag originally was that he just put on a timer on his watch and walked in circles to wait for the night to be over before getting called over. And the overall interaction with the girls at the end was way quicker. This shot right here where Rob looks darn sad was originally supposed to lead into him getting mad and standing up for himself, and then Clay walks over and throws the jackets in. That was it. Again, all changes that I think were made for the better. I really can't imagine the cartoon without
Aspetta, S1Ep1 non
but
gli
I do
apposta?
understand the complaints that it was too slow and long. And as a result,
I don't think it was slow.
going
It's
forward,
fine.
I want to make every episode we get to make a solid 11 minutes. I think now I know how to achieve what I want within that time frame. On the production side, I also wanted to make sure I could reuse whatever I could from whatever was done before. And so I pulled a couple scenes from the original pilot and put them in this new one wherever it fit. The dad drop-off, the girl Clay meets, the girl he yells at, and I also got to reuse a bunch of background designs Getty had done. The school hallway, the girl's house from the party episode became Clay's
Is it a house? Oh.
Although if I were to make more, I would probably redesign his house's interior as it's a bit empty. But it was around that time I also hired
the stuff, so that's why it's it.
Josh, Kara, and Adrian. Adrian was a great help in figuring out the overall style of backgrounds I wanted to go for. The super abstract look with sharp edges.
It was a cartoon,
the best thing
the guy who's playing.
They were so abstract. When
What the?
storyboarding, I
Is it Arizona?
did
I'm
not
not
think about
Arizona.
backgrounds at all, so I ended up needing a ton to get the shots I wanted. But because of the art
Well,
style being so
fix it.
simplistic, a lot of them could be made with rearranging assets. Take the club wall and remove the posters. There we go, it's like a new wall altogether. Grab the floor and shift the perspective a little. There we go, there's a lower angle. Really allowed the backgrounds to be made quickly and efficiently. The animation was definitely a learning curve though. Before we began, I was looking at Rob's rig and I just couldn't help but think, this just does not look like Rob, and I don't know why.
No
Then I
mouse?
looked at the model sheet and realized he was drawn just differently enough for the entire design to feel off. His body was more of an oval, his arms just kind of came out of his neck, his eyes were two
That's
eggs
fine.
leaning on each other. It was either going to be a case of me having to do redraws for every single shot to make him look closer to the model sheet, or just bite the bullet and do another pass on the rigs, which took around another month. I think there were some animators who still ended up using the older version of the rig and not switching to the newer one, which
Yeah,
is
it's
why
kinda
a couple
switched to
shots in the final animation look a little different to others. Also probably why there are certain shots where Rob and Clay's line art differ. One was the old rig and one was the new rig.
You gonna keep it or you gonna change it?
Making more episodes
I'm
for
fine
the
with
table,
both.
then I want to do one final cleanup of the rigs just to make sure they're perfect. Best thing is though, every rig made for the pilot can be reused in future episodes. They're in the bank, the cast can only grow. Kickstarter in the I'm a picky asshole, so I still ended up doing redraws for most of the shots, but overall, everyone I worked with on the animation side did an amazing job. My favorite thing was when they'd push the rigs to be exactly like the boards. My mind jumps to the scene where Clay builds up the courage to say hi to the rabbit girl. You know, that was all Lillian's boards and Andrew's ability to push the rigs to recreate the expressions. Aaron Victor I was also super impressed by. He would also copy the boards to a T. A lot of his work, especially Rob and Clay walking to their bus seats and Clay talking to Rob's dad, were pretty much done frame by frame. He would sketch out the animation and then use the rigs. But no matter what, shoutouts to every one of these guys, except that prick right there. The
What's up?
compositing is probably what took the longest. I mean, just look at it. I think maybe an entire year and a half was spent on compositing, and took place while the final couple scenes were being animated. Matthew Bitts had reached out to me about doing assets for my podcast. I swear we'll get back to weekly uploads soon. This cartoon has occupied so much of my time the past couple months. But it was around that time I made a post looking for a compositor, to which he said, "Hey, I've never composited before, but I'll give it a go." Yeah, you heard that right. This was his first time ever compositing before, and I think it's safe to say he knocked it out of the park. I really fell in love with the idea of having these super flat characters on more abstract backgrounds with this ultra realistic lighting, kind of like Gumball. And given the theme of a nightclub, it really opened up the possibilities for going all in and having it look super busy and insane. Casey and Madeline came in to help with the last few scenes that needed compositing, and they also did a fantastic job. I was really impressed at how well Casey managed to replicate Matthew's lighting style for that final scene of them at the club. However, an issue that arose, which lasted about an entire year of troubleshooting, was me asking Matthew to send me the compositing files to render myself instead of him, mainly so we could save time as he can continue compositing while I render the shots. But Google Drive was just shit for this and would frequently fail to upload files. Sometimes I would get a PNG sequence with random frames just missing here and there. A couple shots like that actually ended up in the final cartoon. It just so happened that me extending the previous for one more frame was just unnoticeable enough for me to get away with it.
Well, I didn't notice it as well.
And I didn't see anyone point this out yet. Maybe some have, I didn't.
Well, you
see
pointed it
But
out.
some shots have this
You did your
shitty
job.
effect and others didn't.
What?
It's so unnoticeable that it's something I didn't even realize until the night before I had to upload. Whoops. Because Chrome would fail to upload files, I would basically have to re-put together a lot of the shots. Most of them wound up looking like this when I opened them. And
Wow,
I
that's
think in my
cool.
attempts to re-cobble them together sometimes, that shaky cam effect would go missing. And it wasn't until I spent months re-rendering every single shot, some of them taking an upwards of 15 hours for just a few seconds of animation, that I finally noticed. I actually tried to reinsert them the night before uploading. I learned that in Premiere Pro you could just record your own handheld footage, nest it with the clip you wanted on, add a stabilizer, and then you could apply that shakiness to the
Don't remember this.
But the ones I would attempt just came off way too shaky. It was distracting. And I thought if it took me months of looking at the cartoon to even notice it was missing, then I can live with uploading it the way it was. The music and sound design was something I didn't fully have done until about 3 or 4 months ago. But I did know I wanted some kind of contrast between the first half of the episode and then...
And I'm just sitting there stuff. Oh man, I ran out of charge.
Hiring Jesse, that we were able to figure out this cool classical cartoon jazz vibe for the first half.
Kan ni bili faktiskt när jag tog energy.
Little cartoon of two buddies going to a club.
Oh, look, is left.
Before they get in the bus, Rob drops his bitches line, and suddenly the happy
Okay, I
jazz
think I
goes
can
away,
finish
and
it.
now there's
Can
crazy,
I?
intense Euro
Wait, my charge is far away.
done by my friend Dumsville. That contrast between
It's
them at
enough.
school and
Ah,
home
it's not gonna
talking
be
to his
enough.
dad, and then suddenly things get way too intense once they go to the club was definitely something I wanted to convey through the sound. I'll leave it at that though. You can check out Jesse's video where he goes way more
check it, maybe?
and what we wanted to achieve with it. There were so many issues that I was consistently like, I'll get to it. And suddenly it was now the final week of production and I had to sort this shit out.
I think I will not make it.
Well, what kind of person
Close
would
enough,
be
like,
to
okay, let's pause them.
return them?
Don't
This is
charge.
not lining up right. I did not know what happened during production for it to get so out of sync. I called Mackenzie.
Yeah, I'm pausing it. Don't charge my phone and return to you. Okay, I get some of my charge, not too full, but I think it'll have to finish this video. So we'll put my socket because while I was charging, I was took a shot. But I think Charlie gets my stove a little better. So go ahead, everybody now.
Like 3 different times to redo it.
I mean, most I think I said nothing special. Because man, what else can I say? Just about development. I mean, kind of have desire to talk about series I want to create myself, which kinda selfish.
In one go. It was literally finished at 6 a.m. when the cartoon went up at 2 p.m. the same day. This shot of Rob outside the club was uploaded without the crowd or a background or anything, and so I had to sit down and try to figure out how to take the crowd from the previous shot and reuse it, which I was so happy lined up correctly. Clay's animation also had this weird bug where you could see the bottom of his rig, so I had to go and reinsert the fixed version of the animation. The literal night before release, I realized my friend Jean drew the background characters in the school shot to only be visible from a certain angle, and the composer inserted them slightly off, so I was watching it like...
Oh, see Brian Griffin, the charge us live. Do you like Brian Griffin?
And so I quickly redrew them and put it over. Also, in this shot right here where Rob walks away from the coat rack girl, his body kept cutting off. Again, I think it was a case where it was animated under the assumption that the background little card here would be up more, and I just couldn't figure out how to rework it without completely moving the whole lighting, and so I just did a couple PNGs of a black line and put it over. Same with this lunch scene. These guys' legs and feet were not there originally, but I thought it looked too weird with them. So I drew them over, which created a whole other issue as Rob walks in front of them, and so I had to manually go and mask out each frame. Again, all this was a couple hours before the cartoon came out. I did the same thing for the worm in this shot. Originally, they weren't there at all, but I thought it would be fun continuity if they were, so I had to mask right when Rob goes over her. I'm not sure how interesting this actually is to you guys, by the way. I feel like I've rambled enough, so I'll give a closing statement and answer a couple of questions I got. I was thinking about this cartoon for 4 years. Constant worries about what people would think of it, what people would
think. Like what people think. I think I'm fine. I enjoyed it. I don't think much of you, to be fair.
I don't care. I have no idea what people will think of this cartoon. I've looked at it for so long that I can't make heads or tails of it. But no matter what the outcome of all this is, I am so happy with the final product. Even if it's not perfect, and it is not perfect. I said I was going to release a cartoon, and even if it took a while, I got there eventually. Again, I hit render on the final cut at 6 a.m. the day before release, and in those brief 4 hours where I was asleep, I had a dream where I woke up, said it's time to release the cartoon, and walked over to my computer. And then I started watching it and saw that things seemed different. The scenes were all garbled, and things were happening that I never wrote. Random characters were jumping on screen that I never designed. I sat there baffled and thought,
yes, you're gonna understand.
This is complete and utter nonsense. Then I grabbed the file and uploaded it to YouTube. I didn't care how it came out, I just pressed upload. I think that was my brain's way of telling me that I was done. That I could wake up, go online, and say, wait, I want another week or a month or a year to fix things up and make sure that it's perfect. But it wouldn't make me any happier than I already am.
What, did the tail? Or not, he never have a tail, but there's a big story about it doesn't have a tail. An accident.
Coulda, shoulda about it. It is done, release it. And so that's what I did, and like I said at the start of the video, I'm completely blown away by the response. At the time of writing this, it's actually about to hit 1 million views in only 6 days, and I cannot fathom the outcome that it got. I've gotten to meet some of the coolest people working on this, people I want to continue working with for years to come. But I'm so grateful for the position I was in and that I had time and freedom to really explore what I wanted to do with this idea. Because I know that if given the chance to make more, I could really make something that
wait, I just forgot maybe my camera was recording for some time.
Plenty of people didn't like it, and that's cool. But I
Did they?
stress enough how happy
I mean, obviously they would see your power.
Finally having this out there. So, Kickstarter in the description. Any of mine?
Oh, is it cool? You senor, aren't you?
I probably mentioned that in the ad already. I don't know, I haven't made it yet. But right now, I have such a clear goal of where I want to take catching up from this point on, and hope I get to fulfill that vision in some way. Here's some quick questions that were asked on Twitter. I'll probably leave out anything that I've already answered through talking about it so far, and then I'll get out of here. I think I've talked long enough about this. Any trials regarding production and how I'd overcome it? Make spreadsheets. Know who was doing what, when they need to get it done, and where they're at regarding it.
What?
I didn't do that and suffered because of it. How would I critique my own pilot? This is hard to do because I actually haven't watched the cartoon since I hit render that day, but it was definitely too long.
I don't know how you upload it without watching it. I never upload nothing without watching it first.
About cameo voice actors like Kid Icarus, Zach, Chris,
if there's some
Pello,
murders with rendering.
just asked. Tomar and Caddy recorded their lines like 2 years ago. I think I asked Zach once while we were walking around. I originally had Kellen voicing the Cool Cat, but I think I was talking with Veronica and we were like, you know who'd be perfect for this? Pello, and so again, we just asked. And I needed a voice for the DJ like a couple days before the cartoon came out, and so just asked Chris, that was it. How long did it take to write the script? Basically up until, I don't know, the end of production. There must have been like 30 versions of the script, each with minor differences.
I want to see all of them. Well, you gotta show them all.
Lines up until like a year ago when it was completely set in stone. Basically, before a scene was ready to start being animated, I would sit down and look at it and say to myself, is there anything I want to change here before I start animation? This person asks about the animation style and how I decided on it. And really, I wanted to do something similar to the Fairly Odd Parents, you know, no shit, where the focus was more so on the keyframes rather than the in-betweens. I wanted the animation to be super fast and snappy.
Okay, I have to compare that because I don't remember Fairly Odd Parents art style.
I managed working on catching up and videos at the same time. Very poorly. It took me until, again, the last year of production for me to really get a good flow going. Honestly, most of the work on the cartoon...
Okay, I kind of want to come... Man, I want to talk about myself. Well, maybe I'm selfish.
At the same time, I probably could have just done it in a year. Basically, whenever it was just me working on it, you know, boarding, doing designs, writing, I would just get to it when I could. Then when I gave stuff to revisionists, animators, compositors, I would just work on videos until one of them got back to me. Then I'd do the revisions and send it back. If things took too long, I'd reach out and see what was up, but generally it was a constant trade. When I wasn't working on one, I was working on the other. It was all happening so fast that there wasn't really much time to get burnt out. And I'd do it all again. Throughout all of 2023, I think I had the mindset, fuck it, just get it done, let it be over with.
That's well in this moment.
And move on.
I mean, by saying fuck it, I create my channel.
I got to see it as a completed thing. By the time it finally was done, I couldn't help but think, god damn it, I want to make more. And so I hope I get to.
Let's hope.
Again, Kickstarter in the description. If we get funded, I plan on getting started right away. And if you're just here for Family Guy rants or something and are sick of me talking about this goddamn cartoon already, worry not, as I have a big 3-hour video coming out at the end of next week if all goes well. Until I have something ready to show production updates, we'll mostly just be going straight to Kickstarter and the Discord server. Thanks again for all the support, can't stress that enough. There's not much else to say.
Okay, so what else can I say? Like, okay, mostly nothing much, and I kind of don't know what I want to say. Also, the reason why my shower cap, because my cat's this electronic and I want to do my wet hair. What's happening now? And again. Man, kinda, I mean, I kinda the only reason I want to talk about is kind of talk about myself. It's kinda, there's not really much I can stick to, but kinda my own project which I once have decided to create, but okay, so I have a shit ton of series, kinda happened since my child. Because as a kid I like to imagine all the story and I kinda have a couple of stories, which kinda I abandoned as I grow older. But I kinda still remember some, but kinda lots of them I just abandoned, I think lots of them. But kinda focus on some, kinda maybe have some series I do have decided to create. But kinda never like animated series, but might be more of the comics. And kinda the only reason, okay. When I want to be creative, I want to create something which is not gameplay and not reaction, it's either music. I was kind of have to specify a video which I don't create already. It's a music, comic series, and a game. I have go, but I try to figure out how to make a game on it. not sure when I'm gonna make one. I have comic series which it's kind of just one of the challenges which I either do or either don't. And for other stuff it will be, as well as said, music, which I have no idea how to write music, and I have no idea what I have desired to write the music, create a band or that stuff. I have no idea what I have this desire come from. Maybe because I can't listen to music that was cool and can't say, what because I have a music of my own? Like if I create a band, not like one man parade, like you know, I'm the musician. Kind of going on this one, yeah, kind of this one, all these things I want to do. How much I want to do? Not crazy, I mean, if I want to do them crazily, I would just already be doing them. But kinda, okay man, okay, I have decided to make those things while not making those things. Mostly, I'm lazy. Second thing, I have a job, and not as much free time, which kinda also makes it with me being lazy, because when I work, I kinda want to go back home and relax, and just have lazy days, mostly because I just have those days where I have zero desire to do anything, but I also kinda force myself to do anything because I want to keep doing what the hell I'm doing. Second thing why it's not happening is I want to have gameplays, reaction, maybe some drawing challenges, if kind of thing I want to have. But again, kind of those things require time, and even like gameplays and reaction require time. So you know, I am working on something and each time being eaten, and on this town, I just run out of time. But also with Crooked Comics, I kinda have decided to make more Crooked Comics, but I think with Crooked Comics is kind of the problem of time. Like while I'm making Crooked, I'm not uploading anything else, because Crooked needs storage, Crooked require work, plus I also draw someone else, and kinda, it's just so many things I draw, plus again the place and stuff again, and then I just delaying lots of for a long time. I must say, man, I will not say I have the great desire to do Crooked Comics, that I'm constantly doing Crooked Comics, but I have interest in Crooked Comics, slightly. But again, it's not that I'm making a very big series, I'm expecting it to become a big series. It's just a challenge I do, like a challenge, make your own comics. It's a fun challenge which I do. But also talking about that one, yeah, I'm not sure, maybe I will make something, but I don't think it will become big. I don't see myself becoming, maybe, I don't know, man. I think one of the reasons why I don't gonna go big, because man, I'm scared of going big. Because when I become big, it's kind of become managing problems. Like, I have to manage people, which I think I don't want to do, because I kind of feel I will become a shitty manager, and you know, I will never be able to handle it. And you need to get paid, you need that, and I kind of feel like I will get in some conflicts, or I forgot something, no, I did something badly, and then in the end, it's kind of, people talk about me as this incompetent prick. So I kind of do see myself as this incompetent prick. You kind of you do this, all this works, and I kind of, in my art, man, go watch my animations. I was talking about my animation. You can see there's always like some small mistakes, which I noticed at the end, like never bothered to fix. I mean, I already uploaded it, so how can I fix it? And there's like, I think on any video you can find mistakes. That's kind of the way I do this. The way I do animations kinda, okay, it kinda change, depends on when I'm doing this, because kinda I think I use different animation tricks sometimes. But kinda, I use Krita, and then my DaVinci Resolve to animate. So kinda draw frames on Krita, and put them on DaVinci. I mean, I know Krita you can easily do animation as well, but for that you need a different program, which I never bothered to get. And I just use frames and, you know, upload them. Kinda, I don't have lots of animation experience. I mean, I did some animation, but are they good? I question it always, actually. I mean, I draw more than animation frames require some persistence or consistency. Now, talking about other stuff, what else can I say? Let me think. That's maybe the reason, also another fear, it's not like management, it's also the fact that I will have too much shit going on and I will not be able to manage it at all. Like, it's not a people management, it's just time management and work, and there will be someone's responsibility. And I will just get confused. And kind of, man, the reason why I have a YouTube channel is because I want to have a job where I get to sleep whenever I want and just do what I like. And have some free time, some possibility to go outside and have some fun. Because I think I'm gonna have too much big problems, too much big shows or serious projects, I kind of will be forced to take some responsibility to them, and kind of it will be eating my time. Once again, development, money making, and that stuff. It's kind of feels it's also will be one of those cases where I just get too complicated. Honestly, man, I kind of think series. Man, I kind of do have some big series in my mind, but also I would rather prefer to make some small series. You know, like I have desire to make games. I have a tons of ideas for simple games and maybe some ideas for bigger games. But also maybe people want more of this game. Just kind of in my mind it's confusing. Also games are probably, if I'm gonna make a big game, I totally require a team, because man, I am not a big game developer guy person. So honestly, if I'm gonna make the games, it kinda will be my learning process. But man, I'm glad I have to start making games. I mean, I have Gobot and I have desire for games. I just have to pick something simple and maybe try making something in brief. And maybe I will. I don't know. I have no idea when I'm gonna start making my own game, but I trying to figure out all this stuff on Gobot, and maybe will at some moment, but I don't know when. But it will travel some time. I don't know, man, I think I already missed uploads a lot, so you know it will not be big of a problem. But that's not, and not much can say. So hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, I can enjoy it. Like kinda that, I think I have not much to say, because man, it's kinda just development talk, and I am not very good at this, am I? But for that stuff, and just go to S1Ep1-Mark's channel, subscribe, follow him, and do whatever you can to support him. And on this note, for Kickstarters, and he'll talk about Kickstarters a lot of time. And after you go to him, you can come to me to like, share, subscribe, and you go to my social media, go to my other channels, and you can support me. I have a Patreon instead of Kickstarter, but man, I'm not Kickstarter and anything, so Patreon there will be. So on my Patreon you get all the accesses. Maybe okay, I can be delayed, and I will try to put something on. I can upload something, but if I can not upload, sorry, you have your name right there. Something like just the name page at the point. I mean, sometimes do get all the accesses, so for my reaction you get this Patreon version with time on my face button music, and you know you need some new material, so if you want my speech without some interruption, you go there. Go to the section you can place. I have upload a couple of ones, I kind of stop missing there, sorry. And your name right there for tutorials. That is my drawings, which actually, once the drawings is done, I will upload them. It's kind of the one which I at the most. So when I have something to upload. And for teams, for those questions, Discord, so I can commission, and I do questioning, Q&As. Almost not much can be said, so hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, roll and screen. Bye bye.